It was early morning in the small village of Noorabad. The first rays of sunlight danced over the rolling hills, painting the fields golden. Khalid, a humble farmer, began his day as he always did, with Fajr prayer, raising his hands to the heavens and asking Allah for his blessings. His farm was small, his possessions few, but his heart brimmed with gratitude. Khalid stepped into his garden and marveled at the lush vegetables and vibrant fruits. His neighbor Yusuf, a wealthy merchant, passed by and stopped at the fence, his eyes scanning Khalid's flourishing land. "Khalid," Yusuf called out, a smirk tugging at his lips. "How is it that your little farm seems untouched by the droughts and pests that plague the rest of us?" Khalid smiled and leaned on his spade. "Perhaps, Yusuf, it is not about how much we have but how we seek it. I sow my seeds with trust in Allah, and I avoid what He has forbidden. Barakah comes not from abundance but from His blessings." Yusuf scoffed. "Trust and prayer don't fill bellies, Khalid. Wealth does. You should try expanding your land or buying better tools like I do." He waved dismissively and walked off, his rich robes fluttering behind him. Khalid went about his day, working under the sun and reciting zikr as he toiled. By noon, he brought out his lunch, a piece of bread, some dates, and a jug of water. Just as he began to eat, a young boy, Zaid, ran toward him, clutching his stomach. "Uncle Khalid, I am so hungry," Zaid said, his voice weak. Without hesitation, Khalid handed the boy his food and smiled. "Here, eat this. Allah will provide for me." Zaid ate eagerly, then looked at Khalid with wide eyes. "You always seem so happy, Uncle Khalid, but you don't have what others do, fine clothes or a big house. How can you be so content?" Khalid patted the boy's shoulder. "Zaid, happiness isn't in having more, but in living the way Allah wants us to. I pray, I earn my livelihood honestly, and I never take what doesn't belong to me. When you live this way, Allah places barakah in your life. He makes a little go a long way." Meanwhile, Yusuf's life wasn't as peaceful as it seemed. Despite his wealth, his business was struggling. His workers were dissatisfied, his profits dwindled, and his family constantly demanded more. Frustration gnawed at him. One evening, he sat in his grain home, staring at his ledgers. His wife, Fatima, approached him. "Yusuf, why are we always in turmoil? We have so much, yet we are never at peace." Yusuf sighed heavily. "I don't know, Fatima. I have worked harder than anyone, invested wisely, yet it feels like our blessings slip through our fingers." Fatima hesitated, then spoke softly. "Perhaps Khalid is right. Barakah isn't about wealth. It is about how we earn it and how we use it. Do you think we have been neglecting what Allah has commanded?" Yusuf frowned but didn't reply. Her words lingered in his mind. Weeks later, the village was struck by a severe drought. Crops withered and water became scarce. Khalid, however, still managed to harvest enough to feed his family and share with others. One day, the villagers gathered in the square, their faces filled with worry. "Khalid," one of them called out, "tell us how your farm thrives while ours fail. What is your secret?" Khalid stepped forward, his voice calm and steady. "There is no secret. I trust in Allah's decree and avoid what He has forbidden. I ensure my income is pure and I pray for His blessings every day. Barakah comes when we follow Allah's commandments, praying on time, giving charity, and treating others fairly. It is He who sustains us, not our wealth or efforts alone." The villagers nodded, their hearts stirred. Yusuf, standing in the crowd, listened intently, a flicker of understanding dawning in his eyes. That night, Yusuf visited Khalid's home. He found the farmer sitting with Zaid, teaching the boy how to recite Quran. Khalid, Yusuf began, his tone humbled. I mocked you for your simple ways, but I see now that you have what I have been chasing all my life: peace. Teach me how to bring barakah into my life. Khalid smiled warmly. It starts with turning back to Allah. Purify your wealth by avoiding haram earnings, even if they seem profitable. Pray on time, give generously to those in need, and seek Allah's forgiveness for past mistakes. When you do this, Yusuf, Allah will bless your wealth, your health, and your heart. Yusuf nodded, his resolve strengthening. The next day, he began making amends. He returned unfair profits, paid his workers generously, and distributed food to the poor. Slowly but surely, his business recovered, and more importantly, his family found peace. As the months passed, the village flourished once more. The drought ended, and the villagers adopted Khalid's principles. They worked honestly, cared for one another, and relied on Allah's mercy. Khalid continued his simple life, planting his seeds with Bismillah and sharing his harvest with Zaid and others. Yusuf, now a changed man, often visited Khalid, seeking advice and sharing his own experiences of barakah. One evening, as the sun set over Noorabad, Zaid sat beside Khalid and asked, Uncle Khalid, will I ever have barakah like you? Khalid smiled. Of course, Zaid. Live your life with honesty, gratitude, and trust in Allah. Follow His commandments, avoid what He has forbidden, and remember, barakah isn't in what you have, but in how Allah blesses it.